Hello and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. Happy May 11th. It's great to be coming to you. I'm going to talk to you today about taking a moment, stepping back, looking at the big picture of your business and why this is super important. I think we spend so much time, I know I do, on just putting our head down, working, nonstop working, grinding to build our business to, make this thing that, has never been seen before. And I know that's important. But taking a step back for a moment, and I recommend really trying to do this, once or twice a week at least for 30 minutes or so, an hour. And look at your business from a 20,000 foot, view, and say, what does my business look like? What am I working towards? I work with a lot of people. In A VO's Journey Elite Academy, doing incredible things. And one of the things that I notice a lot with those people, as well as the people I coach individually, right, is that, including me, is that we just work our butts off nonstop. And that's a good thing. I mean, you've got to work hard to be successful. But a lot of us struggle with being able to stop for a moment, step back, and say, okay, where is all of this going? Where am I taking it? Logically, the first thing we do when we set goals, we set money goals. I want to make couple $100 extra a month. I want to make $2,000 extra. I want to make $5,000, $10,000 extra a month. We set these arbitrary money goals. And I'm not saying that's wrong. But what happens when you reach them? Now, you might be in that place where you're like, well, I haven't reached that goal yet, so I don't know. But I want you to go with me here because this is important. Maybe your goal is to go full time. Well, what happens when you go full time? What do you do then? Okay. You have to consider that you will reach your goal. But when you reach your goal, life doesn't stop. Your business doesn't stop. Your dreams don't stop. When I went full time as a voiceover actor, I'll never forget, it was one of the coolest days of my life because I got to, go leave work. I think I actually made a film of it at the time, of me driving away. And then also, I think I did a podcast on it, A VO's Journey podcast. And, where I documented, because I was, started the podcast while I was working a full-time job. And then through the podcast, I'd went full-time and, all that's there. And I remember thinking, wow, I accomplished my goal. I did it. And then I'll never forget sitting there and, everyone gone, because my wife went to work, my kids went to school, and I'm kind of just sitting there in the house, and I'll be like, okay, what do I do now? Clearly, I have my business, but, it's kind of like I had reached the goal that I had set and I put so much effort into. And I was kind of like, well, now what? And I started realizing that, when you reach that goal, your dreams, desires, they don't stop. It's like filling in, and I've used this analogy before. It's like a puzzle, right? It's like your life's like a puzzle, and the little pieces that make up that puzzle all represent different things in your life, almost like a bucket list, if you will, right? And every time you put a piece in, okay, you gain from like the puzzle thing, right? The puzzle becomes more whole, but you gain more. The word oneness come to mind, but basically you just you become more satisfied with your life as you complete these goals, as you put these puzzle pieces together. But one puzzle piece does not make up your whole life, does not make up the whole puzzle. There's multiple ones. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because let's say that tomorrow you hit that goal, making $5,000 a month. well, then what? You know what I mean? Like, what was that goal going to get you? Sometimes I think a lot of our goals are actually like middle of the road goals. They're not actually like what we're trying to accomplish. Because in the end, right, I suppose, hopefully all of us, I would think, are trying to accomplish some sense of happiness, right? We're trying to be happy. I know this is going to be a deep conversation, but you know, we're trying to be happy. We're trying to build something that makes us happy, that fulfills us. And one thing will not do it on its own, but that one thing might give you what you need in order to be able to start building the other things, right? So I like to think of it as like the frame of a puzzle. You've got to build your frame so that the rest of the puzzle can be put in. Without that frame, it becomes very hard to stick a lot of pieces in. And I think a lot of us, including me, I remember I was there where I couldn't complete my frame, and it always felt disjointed. My life felt disjointed. I was, always felt like something was missing. Even though I had done these things, I had accomplished things through my job, and I have an amazing family, but I still feel like it was disjointed. I wasn't complete when it came to like a framework of my life. I was always searching for my why. I don't know if you're that kind of person, or Simon Sinek, and, start with why. I was always like, why am I doing this? Maybe all of us have that kind of thing, that age-old question of humanity, why are we here kind of thing, but in a more like personal level, like, why am I doing this? What is it about me that people want to work with me? What is it about me that people like or don't like? Or, you know what I mean? Like, we're always searching for that to be able to share with the world, and it become daunting, especially if you can't, you're struggling with trying to find it. And that usually means that our puzzle, and I'm using this puzzle analogy, is kind of fragmented. We don't have the frame built yet. So to me, voiceover was that frame. Voiceover completed that frame for me, and it gave me a sense of structure in my life that made me feel whole enough to start to build the rest of it. Now, gosh, there's so much to a puzzle. Let's say tomorrow you wake up and you have the money that you want. I mean, that's wonderful, all right? And that's a great puzzle piece, but it's not the end. There's way more to the puzzle than that, trust me. I mean, once you're not worrying about going paycheck to paycheck, your life still doesn't stop, right? I mean, you've got all kinds of other things that are that you life. What are you going to do with that? Maybe you want to travel. Like, maybe part of what you want, and then that brings up another question, or that brings up another thing about, there's different parts and times of your life, right? It's not all one right now. And the reason why I talk about this is because we're in Avio's Journey Elite Academy, we have monthly reading, and as part of just bettering ourselves as business owners and people and voice actors. Well, this week this month we're reading the E-Myth Revisited. It's a great book. I love it. And the idea of the book in general, right, is about creating systems, business systems, but how those systems work to create something beyond us individually. And because if we can do that, then we don't have to rely so much just on us all the time. All right. Now, the cool thing is you can do as much of this or as less of this if you want. Like, I love voiceover. So, like, no matter what I do or no matter how many businesses I end up building in my life, because I've realized, too, that I enjoy building businesses. I enjoy building something from nothing. That's just something I enjoy. Right. But I'm always going to want to do voiceover. I love it. I love performing. That's been a part of my life since I was a little kid. And I went to school for it. I went to college for it. And I taught for it. And I toured for it. I love to perform. Being able to perform in front of a mic gives me more freedom to perform anywhere in the world than anything else we could do. So I love that. But that doesn't mean I don't want to do a lot of other things. Didn't mean I didn't want to get a farm. Doesn't mean I don't want to travel. Doesn't mean I don't want to, I don't know, go on a cruise somewhere or have a boat or, go fishing. Like, all these different things we have in our life, they don't stop because we accomplish one thing or we put in one puzzle piece. So to bring all this, why I'm saying this is because take time, you guys, even if it's once a week, 30 minutes, an hour, step back and force yourself to look at your business. What am I, what have I accomplished? What is my business currently doing? Who's hiring me? Where am I marketing myself? What's my performances like? What have I accomplished? Who do I know? What is the story behind my business? When people look at my business, what do they see? Is anybody even seeing my business? All right. Do I have any way? And then you're going to say, well, how can more people see my business? Well, I need to have some sort of communication. What are my lines of communication? Are they working? How could they work better? Where do I get that information? Where do I learn these things? Like you've got to step back and look and be that entrepreneur. Most people are only, and this is a part of that book, but most people are only an entrepreneur once. And that's the other thing from Gary Vaynerchuk too. Or most people you're only an entrepreneur usually once when you start your business. And then after that, we're these technicians. We just work. We work and we work and we work. We don't take a step back to be that entrepreneur again, to have grand ideas, to try grand new things. All right. And, that's something that, again, is so important, that you allow yourself to be that person from time to time. It also talks about another person, that's being a manager, something that organizes all of this, because there's got to be an organizational part to all of this, which I personally don't like. It's not I feel like I'm more of like an entrepreneur, but I stink at being a manager. All right. I'm a good technician. Like, I can work with the best of them. I will just work and work and work. But when it comes to organizing the stuff, things can be chaotic, and that's a challenge for me. The point I'm trying to make to you is that this puzzle that I'm talking about, you've got to look at it. What are these pieces? How can you fill in the pieces of your puzzle? And I found that voiceover in this business was what I needed to finally connect the frame. Because I think for years, my whole adult life, my frame was broken. Because I felt it inside. I knew it was, but I didn't understand. And I think part of me was afraid to explore things to try to connect it. And I'm so thankful that, voiceover has done that. So hopefully, if you get anything from this video today, and I know it was deep, is that take a moment, a week, even once a week, for 30 minutes even, and just look at your business from a really far away view and say, what's happening with it? What's going on with it? What are its challenges? What are my main challenges in my business? Don't overcomplicate it. Just say, what are the challenges? What could the solutions? It's incredible how amazing our brains are, because they'll tell us what the solutions are. They say, well, you need to do this. And from there, then we get challenged trying to figure that out. All right. But, follow your intuition. And then, inevitably you'll go back to the fact where you need to learn more information. You need to get more connection. You need to meet more people. You need to learn. But take that time. You will find amazing results, and just having a clarity of your direction, a clarity of what you're trying to do, and a clarity of how to spend your time. Right. And that's worth its weight in gold. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll stop preaching. I always appreciate you stopping by VO's Journey. Take a look below. Check out VO's Journey Elite Academy as always. And please check out Academy Voices. We're very excited about all the wonderful things that are happening in our online casting website at academyvoices.com. So check that out as well. Thank you guys for watching. You have a wonderful Wednesday. Today's not Wednesday. Today's Thursday. Did I just say it was Wednesday? I'm sorry. Today's Thursday. So far off. It's Thursday. Have a wonderful Thursday. See, I need to take a step back and look at where I am. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.